What's going on, everybody? I'm Primal and I'm here with another guide for Atelier Sophie 2 for you guys. And in this one, we're going to be looking at the best weapon for Olias, how to get it, and the traits that are going to be used. And this is honestly the easiest goddamn weapon in the world to make. And the reason for that is it uses literally just 3 ingredients. And yes, that is actually including the ones that we're going to add via the link as well. Now, there are a couple of things you're going to need, because out of those 3 ingredients, 2 of them are going to be the ochre grim, which you should have as max quality as possible, all the alchemic components. The effects have to be all plus 14 and attack speed plus 10. And for the traits, you want to make sure you have, ideally, all stat power, persistent attack, and skillful attack. The reason for that is, unfortunately, other traits like Scholar King and that are broken. They do not work the way their actual descriptions say they should, so we're just going with as much damage as we can possibly get. And for Olias, it's a lot, okay? Right, so all stat power, very simple, 40 stats to everything. Persistent attack, which is 40% more damage and also 20% skill damage. Skillful attack, which is another 30% damage and 15% skill power. So straight off the bat, really, really good. What else do you need? Well, you need a Philosopher's Stone. Ideally, max quality, all the alchemic components you can get. And then the big one is the effect. So what you want to do is you want to get Gear Synth all plus 10. This is from the fire element. Do not go over that, otherwise you'll end up with 4 elements, which is really, really bad considering we want stats on a weapon. Now, the traits on this do not matter in the slightest, so do not worry about that. Now, what weapon are we going to be making? Well, we're going to be making, oops, let me just change on over. I chose the wrong synthesis there. So we're going to be making the Demon Slayer, which is the final weapon for Olias. I know, it's amazing after all those other characters that don't use their final weapon, right? So, the items that we're going to be using here are the ochre grim, an ingot, and a magical, which are, of course, are our ingots and our philosopher's stone, and then a melio quartz. Now, why do we choose this weapon? Well, it's really simple, actually. This weapon has the best effects out of them all for Olias, which isn't really saying much, because all this one really does is it increases skill damage by 30% and has a 20% chance of applying 1 stack of defense decrease. Now, that defense decrease will actually stack up really, really quickly, so do not worry about that. That is actually a lot better than it sounds. Trust me on that. What isn't better than it sounds, though, is the measly attack 20. I think that is incredibly low for a final weapon, but beggars can't be choosers. Attack plus 3, which is really, really good for a melee fighter, and then skill reduction, which shortens wait time for skills by 15%. So again, pretty damn good. Okay, so how are we going to make this? Well, this one is going to use the Growlier Catalyst. Go figure. If you're not new to my videos, you know this is pretty much always the one I use. And of course, we've already mentioned that we will be using the ochre grim with the traits, just because it's the easiest. Now, the melio quartz, honestly, doesn't matter for the effects. You know, just max it out, get as much quality as you can, and then you're pretty much good to go. You know, there's nothing special needed for this. Traits also do not matter in the slightest. Now, mine is low quality. Don't worry, you can make yours as high quality as you want. We are still going to get max quality with the synthesis though, so it's fine. So again, we're using another ochre grim for the ingot. And then the magical, we are going to be using a philosopher's stone. Just have to find the one with Gear Synth 10 right there. So we're going to be using that one. However, we can actually use a second Philosopher's Stone with Gear Synth plus 10. So straight off the bat, like just from our ingots, you know, that's 28, 38, 48 stats across the board just for these 4 items basically. And then we get an extra 20 attack and speed on top of that. So it's quite a big increase straight off the bat, but we're not done. We're going to add even more. Now, I am going to very quickly jump ahead to where I've got everything placed. Don't worry, there pretty much is no overwriting on this recipe. So what you see in a min is pretty much the way you should do this yourself. Right, I will be right back. Okay, and we're done. Now, as you can see, I've not filled in the entire grid. That's fine. It doesn't matter. We're still already max quality, so we don't need to care about the super synthesis. We've got all the effects down, and of course, if you look over on the left side, we initially had 2 Philosopher's Stone, while I worked on the light element first, so I could throw a third one in for an extra 10 stats. Once the light element was done, I started to work on the electric element, which then let me add another Okagron in for even more stats. Once those 2 were done, nothing else mattered, so we just focused on water. We've got all the stats we need, we've got all the effects, so there's really no difficulty in making this weapon. Trust me, it is by far the easiest weapon to make, so if you're wondering where to start, this is the one. Right, with that said, let's go ahead and actually synthesize it. Now again, we don't care about the super synth, we are already max quality. So we're going to throw on all stat power, skillful attack, and persistent attack. And look at those for stats, guys. 112 HP, 125 MP, 249 attack, 112 defense, and 142 speed. So pretty damn good across the board. There's the weapon made, so now all you gotta do is go out and shoot something with it. I don't know, whatever you want to do with it. But though guys, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope it's helped. If it has, then please be sure to hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Let me know the first thing you are going to hunt with this gun. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more Atelier guides. As always though everybody, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.